So Vox is reporting that Donald Trump claimed during his 2024 campaign for president that America had fought, quote, no wars during his first presidency, and that he was the first president in 72 years who could say that. On Saturday night, the United States bombed 3 nuclear sites in Iran at Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan, ending weeks of speculation about whether the U.S. military would join the Israeli war on Iran that began more than a week ago. It's hard to overstate just how fast the Trump administration's policy has shifted.
Right.
Just a month ago, Trump appeared to be giving Netanyahu's government the cold shoulder, pursuing direct diplomacy with Israel's staunchest enemies, including Iran, and cozying up to governments in the Gulf that plainly had no appetite for a new war. The hope appears to be that Iran will now be forced to cut a deal to entirely give up its nuclear program. But an Iranian regime mindful of its own legitimacy is also likely to retaliate in some form, possibly targeting some of the roughly 40,000 United States troops deployed around the Middle East. If Iran has any remaining enrichment infrastructure, either at these sites or hidden elsewhere throughout the country's leaders may now feel far less hesitation about rushing to build a bomb. It's quite a gamble, and this time he will have no one else to blame if it doesn't go as planned. And the title of this article by Vox was "This Time It's Trump's War," by the way, because I forgot to mention that at the top.
Right.
So
it's really scary, what's going on. He has started this. He didn't get Congress's approval.
of course not.
No, because why would he? He thinks he's the king. And I mean, they can't really touch us over here inside the U.S., but we've got
besides terrorist attacks.
Right.
No.
I mean, with bombs, but with missiles, put it that way. They can touch us with bombs, with terrorists. But what about the troops that are over there? There's almost like 40,000 troops over there in that region. And they countered with those missiles, but he says that they told him when they were going to do it. I mean, it's just really, I just don't.
Upside down and backwards.
Yeah.
And like it's an ulterior motive. It's I feel like it's a distraction.
Yeah,
For
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So
From
almost.
what? Who knows?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cam.
From what? Who knows? Like, he could be... Ain't no telling what he could be doing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, look over here
Yeah, look
while I
at-
do this over
while
here. So
I ain't gonna say it.
don't be that bad. That's early in the show.
We passed our 30-second mark. Oh, you're trying to get us all the way demonetized. Okay. So almost immediately following the bombings, Iran embraced the petty and took down Trump's so-called Truth Social as he tried to post about the bombings. So according to Wired, Truth Social crashes as Trump live posts Iran bombings. Truth Social malfunctioned on Saturday night amid Donald Trump's announcement that the United States had bombed Iran's nuclear facilities. Starting around 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, attempts to load the social network, which is owned by Trump Media and Technology Group, displayed error messages. Quote, network failed. A message on Truth Social reads, please try again. Down Detector, a website that crowdsources service outages, saw an influx of reports of Truth Social going down around 8 p.m. The reason for the apparent outage was not immediately clear. NetBlocks, which monitors internet accessibility, posted on Blue Sky just before 9 p.m. Eastern, Truth Social is experiencing international outages for many users after U.S. President Donald Trump announces strikes on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. Incident not related to country-level internet disruptions or filtering.
They showed him.
Y'all
So you
want
to bomb us?
So, according to The Hill, Iran took responsibility. They report, quote, hackers aligned with Iran have claimed responsibility for a cyber attack on Donald Trump's Truth Social platform, according to the cyber nonprofit Center for Internet Security, or CIS. The Iran-aligned hacking group 313 team took credit for the distributed denial of service, or DDoS, attack on Truth Social within hours of U.S. strikes on several Iranian nuclear facilities on Saturday.
We're chuckling at this because it's his platform. But the serious part of it is like, what else can they touch?
Yeah.
Can they mess with our grid? Can they mess with,
Yeah.
I mean,
or any of the other stuff,
that's critical infrastructure for the United States.
If they
This
could do it
is
to Truth
something
Social,
that-
they could do it to X.
Right. Well,
something way more important than X.
right.
Ooh.
I'm just
electric
saying,
grid.
Yeah, y'all could do it to X. I mean, Iran, if you're listening.
Yeah, but I mean, in all seriousness, like, where is this going to end? Because he did something and now they did something. And then they,
And with
gonna
him,
do
he's going
something
to do something else.
Right, because he can't control himself. And he's not going to do what's best for the country. He's only going to do what appeases him or his allies, like Vlad.
And what's going to happen is, because I'm a military buff and I know how this stuff typically goes, it's going to lead to yet another costly, never-ending war in the Middle East that we're going to feel for generations, feel for decades, just like with Afghanistan and Iraq.
Not to mention the economic impact. I mean, the Straits of Hormuz and all of that's a strategic shipping lane over there.
Yeah.
What if they do something or close it? Then that's
already
more action by the United States.
Yeah. And that's already not spelling good news for our economy.
Right.
Because they did all that, and oil prices, according to somebody I watch, they actually fell.
Wow.
Which is not, it may sound good on the surface, but that's not good.
No. Yeah, it sounds good, but it's not really good.
So, y'all, apparently, all of this is just getting to be too much for Trump to bear, because he then said that Israel and Iran was entering a ceasefire, to which both of them continued to fire upon each other, making Trump look like the fool he is. So instead of reacting like a sane president, he did this live on daytime television in the middle of the day. Roll the clip.
Watch this.
About that. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Do you have to respond to
So y'all know here at Pragmotiv, we like keeping it raw and unfiltered.
Right. We're raw and unfiltered, but that's just unbecoming of the president of the United States. Really?
We're not on CNN.
There's a time and a place, though.
Did his FTC actually fine them for that?
Nah.
Now, there's a time and a place, and live TV in the middle of the day is not the fucking place.
The fucking. Why he say it like that? And people in the Republicans was gonna say, they gonna say, well, y'all was cheering on Kamala Harris when she said the F word.
Context,
But
motherfuckers.
Kamala Harris did it in a motivational way, saying that sometimes,
And she did it at a private event.
Right.
Not
on
live on
live
TV. Like,
TV.
think about how much the news is a safe for work in most cases kind of thing. Like, you
Right.
go to the
go in
doctor's
public
office,
spaces. Right.
and they're playing that.
you go to the gym and on the TVs in front of the treadmill area, they got CNN,
HGT.
Fox,
Yeah.
and- but they always don't have
You mean
MSNBC.
faux news?
So imagine sitting next to the elderly lady in the waiting room at the doctor's office, and he said, "The fuck they're doing." Oh my word! But
No, but
here's
she
the crazy
probably
thing.
one of his followers.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, this is what makes Trump popular. This is what people like about him. And I do have a criticism about the Democrats because on our side, we're too prim and proper all the time.
Yeah,
They didn't
I
wanna
can agree
give
with that.
We need to be
Jasmine.
more down to earth like we are here on our show.
Yeah, they didn't want to give Jasmine the position she was seeking
But I still
because of
say,
her mouth.
that's unbecoming of that
Yeah.
office.
Well, you don't
the
do
president.
it. I
The
mean, I would
president
say that
shouldn't-
the president could say F-bombs, just not on live TV in
Yeah.
the middle of the day.
Yeah.
Well, here you have it, folks. The 3 different generations.
So you don't think the president
If-
should ever curse?
I'm sure as a human being, the president's.
We don't think the Irish
Clinton.
Catholic was cursing?
Oh, trust. He was.
And we already know Kamala's favorite curse word.
Right. But he not on television. I'm saying there's context and then there's place appropriate, if you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts on
Well,
it.
the press gaggle is
I mean, as
definitely
me
not
with my sailor mouth, I mean,
the appropriate place.
Nah, me, if I was president, I would be cursing my ass off. But
Not in front of the gaggle, though, right?
not in front of the gaggle.
yeah.
Of course not. But when I'm in the Oval, or if I'm just doing whatever at some kind of event,
And
not and it's in a lighthearted way.
What about at the State of the Union?
If they
You
interrupt
lie.
me, if they interrupt me, I'm like, shut the fuck up, Marjorie. Sit your ass down.
Can you imagine,
she would
though?
be the one to do that.
Joe
Didn't
and
she do
Barack
that?
should have did that.
Didn't she do that to
Uh-huh.
Joe Biden?
Lauren, shouldn't you be somewhere in the theater feeling somebody up? Beetlejuice.